Hello and welcome. This is not what I was trying to do earlier. I was trying to do earlier. This is Facts by Hack the Box. It's one of the easier boxes and it's been finally retired. In fact, it's one of my favorites. All right, let's go ahead and get started into it. And then I'm gonna go over a little bit on the PNPT on how to look for things. So things first. Scan as always. The double V, what? Yeah, I started to do that so I can get the scans a little bit quicker. What's that? Let's also add this. Oh, echo. So the reason why I'm looking for what web is I'm trying to check the web presence here or see what's going on. That's kind of my goal is to basically before I go to a website, I check the headers, check anything that's software related, what's used, what it's using, cutting edge. So this is using SXX here. So yes, while we're here, we're gonna go to the website. Now, what we should do here, probably run GoBuster. GoBuster. So we'll run this kind of command. Oh wow, there's a lot. So there's a lot going on here. There's only a status of 200. So we can do some uh, directory checks. It seems like it took us straight back to here anyways once we added it. So trivia, start exploring. Go to the welcome page. Some facts, damn it. Admin here. And Frank. I really paid attention to the facts part. So we're just kind of checking on what's going on here. So it seems like there's some uploads. So I'm thinking probably like an upload. Cute animal facts. Or start chocolate. There's a lot going on here. Animal sweat. All right, let's see if we just did something like random. Fact. We got a forbidden. All right. So with that 302 though, try adding just the hell of it. Oh, we got to a login. Um, let's create an account because I don't think the other one's gonna work. Okay, go to Husky, Husky, Husky. Add Husky, Husky, Husky. I mean, it's pretty obvious of what I do. B O B O 8. Let's save that. All right. Husky 1. Ah, EQ, E2. All right. I don't care. I did. Mother trucker here. US, US to the one. Six, A, B. Better do it. Finally. No. Going Narnia here. All right. So we can stop that. We're in the admin board. And there we go. We got a software now. So thinking about here, going steps from step by step. So we enumerate while even during enumeration, I'm looking at different stuff here. We see that one that's using Golang. We didn't even touch this one yet. We focused on port 80. In this case, when we found port 80, we ended up getting to the next step here with using what web, see what's on the web here, and we gotta hit back. So a lot of the times when going down the list, like we're not gonna get 22 just yet for sure, because that's going to be a password and also could be um, RSA keys or whatever, or just special keys. Then port 80 would be the web, and then it seemed like we have a different web, but we don't necessarily have to test this web yet right now. So that's kind of the good news. So we have now, while we kept enumerating this one, we found admin here and admin PHP. This response 302 doesn't mean it's closed. It just means we have to sign in. So when we created an account, we are already technically an admin on this account. And this is the version that we can now look for and exploit. Version 2 point, we call it 2.9. And there we go. We already have a GitHub repo. And this is but this is software for it. Now we can go CVE. And there we are. We have a path traversal, potentially. Cool. So we're gonna get this repo. We get every time we get a repo and it doesn't feel like it's already active, got to just run change mod on it. But now we have it ready to go. So we can read a little bit more about that CVE. So optional three S3 bucket configuration link. So this is going to be chained with AWS. And this is how to run this exploit. So basically we're trying to get the token value or get the leak of the S3 bucket. And we don't necessarily have to do that with this here. We can just do this with this exploit. So let me look that up real quick for my notes, how I did this last time. How I did it. I was able to do it with this. Very cool. All right. So this is how this will work out. So Python 3. We backs box. 1 second. I'm trying to make sure that was just a little, and that was what I was working earlier. Yep. Okay. So now LSD, capital P. I can spell today. I don't think we need to revert anything. We just want to extract from the bucket. Perfect. So that's how this one runs. Now there's another way to do it with Burp Suite, but I figured this way was easier to do because then you can just get the keys. So now we just need to install AWS CLI. Okay, cool. It's already on there. Guys, this here. Boom. All right. This is why it's one of my favorite blocks now, because now we're going to the next step here. This is going to be a little bit around the realms of the PNPT and more towards more of a mid-level versus what you need to learn of the PNPT. But this is a good box to do to practice to go from methodology. All right. I got it squared away. All right. And now it's just copy paste. We are in we're gonna I think it's the east. This is we're usually the default state, so we'll just keep the default output format. That doesn't matter. Now we're gonna do this. We're gonna go point. And this port was 5421. I thought it would work. Oh, I did a configure. I need to do facts. Facts. Profile is right. All right. So now we have two of those going in. I would say internal. I can't say anything down the list. Keep going. SSH. Boom. And now we need to get the keys. So here, we're gonna copy command 3 internal. Actually, before we do, what we're gonna do is gonna make a directory here. Facts. Facts. Now we can make a directory. S3 all H secret ID 22 or 25519. Uh, T2 25519. Sweet. And then we think we have to do with the no, I don't think so. Just gotta change log that. Uh, oops. All right. Don't have passwords, so that's fine. Sudo change that. All right. Gone. Oh, so SSH2, John. Forgot. And now we just wait a while for a second. But now we see when we get to here, we were able to contact the bucket, grab the SSH keys, and now we're going to crack them to see whether or not we can get access to the machine. Or this takes a moment though. And while we're in the SSS key gen, we want to make when we got this key, we want to see who this is. And then we finally got it. Took a minute. It's fine. All right. Then we go back to here. Now that we have password, we don't have a user yet. And now we do. We have a trivia fact box. Awesome. All right. So now we have the user. So all we gotta do is SSH dash I ID, and then we're gonna go trivia. Yeah, at oops. Facts. Yes. And it's Dragon Ball Z. Why did that do that? There. So there's the first user flag. So we were able to crack this. We found the user, and then we just got onto the SS with SSH, and now we're going to see what first thing I do when it comes to Linux. I'm going to see what kind of list commands I have. No different than who am I priv. I want to see what privileges do I have, and then this will list out if I am a super user or not, which I am. But here's part one, and this is how we maintain the shell by getting SSH keys with the chameleon vulnerability. So now we're going into this next part. So to GTFO bins. GTFO bins. This is a website that helps with seeing what access you have as a user. Of course not. It didn't copy that. And it matches go here. Inherit. All right, first Ruby path. Okay. So we have to create a Ruby. So what if we shell? Oh, I don't want to do Maui. Wait. Ruby path to dir. Okay, so we'll just go to the temp folder, and now we're gonna run this. We're gonna go echo c. Oops, damn it. Eight. Then dash, and we'll call this. Oh, we can call this shell. So then we can just run factor back part all b equals. And again, where we're doing this, since this was well, low-hanging fruit, we found that this user can use this without any issues. So we're going to run this. It's telling us when we created the shell Ruby here, it's telling us to run that just like that. So then since we're already here in the folder, we can just go shell RB. But before we even do that, actually, I think I need to just to make sure. Fact. E. Factor. Okay, that did not work. Let's see here. All right, sudo again. So then probably what we need to do is run it from this bin. Actually, we're gonna copy that. This is just for me. Technically, you can run it wherever, but I've just curious. I don't know how this is gonna work. Um, there we go. Okay, so it worked that way. So I moved it to the trivia folder, so it doesn't really matter. You can probably run this in temp, but in this sense, this here, because you're able to run this as sudo, you're able to manipulate it however. And cat root. So that's one of the reasons why I like this box is it shows kind of like the basics of what to expect on these tests, especially for the OSCP for sure. I would see this on something like the OSCP or the CPTS. Only because it's the methodology part, but we got to here. So I just had to run it this way, not the other way when I was reading this part. But there's also that custom path here, the end of privilege, but yeah. So it's just weird that I didn't really want to run it this way, but it's not a big deal. But all right. So the methodology behind the madness here is per Privlask. We got the pseudo privileges. Yeah. Yeah, we got the pseudo privileges, and then we got the user here of this path. And then we can abuse this because this person has the ability to do so. And we ran it, we got the shell. So, all right, that'll do it for this one. Thank you guys for watching. And good luck.